In the beginning, the universe was silence, but it wasn't the kind of silence we know it. It was the densest form of existence, the moment before light, sound, and time had separated. When everything was still united in a single vibration, about 13.8 billion years ago, in a place that was no place at all. Nothingness made a decision to exist. From a point smaller than the tip of a needle, impossibly hot and infinitely dense, the universe began to expand. We call it the Big Bang. But it wasn't really an explosion, it was an expansion. The universe didn't burst apart. It inflated in a fraction of a trillionth of a second. That tiny speck began to fill the void with energy. Light searched for ways to become matter. Waves of energy collided, and unnamed atoms drew their first breath. There were no stars yet, no galaxies, no planets, no stories, only the hum of creation, a cosmic whisper still echoing across the universe today. The cosmic microwave background radiation, that whisper is still out there. Scientists built giant antennas just to listen. The baby photograph of the universe. It reminds us how small, how simple, and how full of potential everything once was. Time was born in that moment, but there was still nothing to feel time. No fear, no love, no humans, no stars, only an expanding thought, a thought that would one day become stardust, then life, and finally, consciousness. That was the universe's first breath, silent, yet filled with meaning. And that meaning, billions of years later, echoes in your eyes. Darkness ruled for a long time. For billions of years, the universe existed in quiet shadows, a time when light was searching for a place to belong, when matter hadn't yet found purpose. But even in that silence, there was potential. Every dark cloud carried the pain of a hidden birth. Those clouds are what we call nebulae, vast wombs of gas and dust. Within them, the first stars were born. Gravity, with its invisible hands, pulled the gases inward. Every particle, every hydrogen atom drifted slowly toward the center. Heat rose, pressure built. And then, in the heart of that dark cloud, a spark ignited, a star was born. This was the universe's second breath. Now there was more than expansion. There was illumination. The star fused hydrogen into helium, burning with life. That process, nuclear fusion, didn't just create energy. It created the future, because through that energy came the elements: carbon, oxygen, iron, gold. Every atom in your body was once forged in the heart of a star. You are, quite literally, made of stardust. The ancients looked up at the night sky and somehow knew. They didn't see a ceiling, they saw a mirror dot in it. They saw themselves, traces of immortality and infinity. For the Sumerians, the stars were the eyes of the gods. For the Egyptians, they were the fields where souls wandered forever. For the Greeks, they were fragments of destiny's touch. But the stars were never only above us. Each person carries a hidden star within. When you make a choice, follow a dream, forgive someone, that star shines. And like the stars in the sky, your inner light guides those around you. Science calls it biophaton emission. Every cell emits a faint light. Myth calls it the vibration of the soul. Both are saying the same thing. In different languages, the light is within you. And stars never truly die. They only change form when a star reaches the end of its life. It collapses inward and explodes in a magnificent supernova. The elements it scatters across the cosmos, will one day form a planet's soil, and perhaps the beating heart of a living being. Maybe the dust of one such star burns now in your eyes. As you read these words, you're completing the story of a star, without even realizing it. The invisible bond the universe shares with you began billions of years ago, and with every breath you take, you carry an echo of the universe's birth. So every light you see in the dark is whispering to you, I am you. The stars were no longer alone. Around them began to swirl small stones, rings of gas and clouds of dust. At first glance, it seemed like chaos, directionless and wild. But in truth, it was one of the oldest dances in the universe. Gravity, like an invisible conductor, guided the entire orchestra. This dance was the first note of a symphony that would play for billions of years as the colliding particles joined together. Planets were born. Some drifted too close to their stars and burned in eternal fire. Some wandered too far and froze in endless solitude. But a few found balance, not too hot, not too cold, not silence, not chaos. These orbits we call the habitable zones, and we are the miracle of that fine line. Earth was one of those perfectly balanced worlds, about 4.5 billion years ago. Floating dust in space gathered, collided, melted, cooled, and one day, in what looked like coincidence, but was, in truth, a flawless equation, a sphere began to spin beneath the sky, our home. But Earth was never just a piece of rock. It had a pulse, a rhythm uniquely its own. Even today, scientists say this rhythm vibrates like a living heartbeat. The Schumann resonance, it's the electromagnetic frequency echoing through the atmosphere. A steady note of about 7.83 Hz, ringing endlessly. Even our body's electrical systems are tuned to it. So that strange calm you feel when you gaze at the sky, it's simply your body synchronizing with the Earth's melody throughout history. Humanity sensed this hidden music. Greek philosophers called it musica universalis, the music of the spheres. They believed each planet, as it orbited, produced a note, and together they formed the symphony of the cosmos, a music you couldn't hear, but could feel now. Imagine this: billions of planets spinning in the sun's pull, each moving with its own rhythm, its own story. Some covered in storms of ice, others with oceans of lava or veils of mist, and yet, all playing the same universal note. Within this chaos, there is perfect harmony. If a planet's orbit shifted by even a few degrees, the possibility of life would vanish. But it didn't. Balance was achieved. Perhaps it wasn't mere coincidence. Perhaps the universe itself was searching for balance, for order, for meaning, for consciousness, and in the end, that balance gave birth to a spark, life, a tiny vibration inside a single cell. Over billions of years, became oceans, forests, eyes, and hearts. Maybe the universe created you simply to understand itself. The ashes of a star took a breath inside a planet, and that breath now lives within you. The dance of the cosmos continues. Elif can dot, every orbit, every atom, every thought is the echo of the same rhythm. As you read this, imagine standing atop billions of stars and galaxies. But don't just imagine, because your consciousness is the echo of the universe itself. Scientists have now discovered that the electrical activity in the human brain vibrates at frequencies that mirror certain cosmic patterns. For example, alpha waves 8 to 12 Hz, which dominate during relaxation and meditation. are almost identical to Earth's Schumann resonance around 7.83 Hz. It means the planet's breath and your brain's breath can synchronize. Consciousness and the universe touch through an invisible thread, but consciousness is more than electricity and frequency. In philosophy and ancient teachings, the human mind is seen as a microcosm, the entire order of the cosmos reflected within you, within your inner universe. You hold your own constellation of stars. Every thought, every feeling radiates like a stellar vibration, resonating with other minds across the vast web of existence. This is where meditation and sleep narratives take their place. When the brain shifts into alpha waves, consciousness aligns more closely with the cosmos. Thoughts slow down, the heartbeat steadies, stress fades, and like the first light of a newborn star, a new awareness rises in your mind. Ancient cultures sensed this truth. In the Vedas of India, breath and meditation unite the self with the universe. Taoist teachings seek harmony between the inner and outer worlds. Greek philosophers believed the sky and the human soul reflected one another. Every sleep story, every whisper, every sound of meditation awakens this universal mind. The frequencies in your brain meet the vibrations of the stars. Each alpha wave becomes an echo of cosmic energy. And remember, you are not just an observer, you are a note in this grand symphony. Every breath, every thought helps the universe know itself. Every dream allows you to rewrite the story of the stars. You are a star, and when we see you shimmering in the night sky, we are not seeing you as you are now. Your light began its journey millions of years ago, crossing the vast emptiness of space before finally touching our eyes. By the time your glow reaches us, you may have already vanished. What we see is not your present, but your past, a memory made of light. Time does not flow the same for you as it does for us. You travel through a quiet universe, bound by the invisible laws of existence. Your story began in silence. For millions of years, clouds of hydrogen and helium drifted unseen, gathering slowly within a vast cosmic mist. Gravity, the silent sculptor of the universe, began its patient work, pulling dust and gas together. As particles collided, energy sparked. You grew warmer, brighter, until your core burned with unimaginable heat. Then, something extraordinary happened. Atoms fused, hydrogen became helium, and you were born. No longer just a cloud, you became a living flame, a self-sustaining light in the infinite dark. For the first time, the void had a heartbeat. In time, you reached balance. Fusion in your core pushed outward, while gravity pulled inward, holding you in a perfect harmony. This delicate equilibrium allowed you to shine for millions, even billions of years. Massive stars like you lived fast and died young, while smaller ones burned slow and steady, whispering light across galaxies. Your glow reached the edges of distant dust clouds, perhaps awakening a planet's birth, perhaps warming the first drop of life on an unknown world. You didn't know it, but you were sowing the seeds of creation itself. But no fire burns forever. As hydrogen faded, your fusion weakened, and gravity began to win. Your outer layers expanded and cooled. You became a red giant, vast and breathtaking. Deep inside, helium fused into carbon and oxygen, the elements that would one day build worlds, mountains, hearts, and bones. Yet even that fuel would run out. Your heart, now heavy with iron, could no longer burn, and so the universe waited for your silence. Then, it came the final collapse. Your core imploded, your outer layers exploded, and a supernova was born. In one heartbeat, you released more energy than the sun will in its entire lifetime. For a moment, you outshone galaxies. Your death was magnificent, not an ending, but a transformation. The elements you forged, calcium, carbon, iron, scattered across the cosmos, becoming the dust of future worlds. One day, that dust would form oceans, soil, breath, and blood. Your ashes became the language of life. If you were massive enough, your final breath collapsed into a black hole, a shadow so dense that not even light could escape. Time itself bends around you, and though invisible, your presence shapes everything nearby. If you were smaller, you became a white dwarf, a fading ember, still warm, still ancient, slowly dimming over eons, until one day you dissolve into quiet darkness. When we look up at the night sky, we call you a star, but truly, you are a memory of light. You are a song from the past, echoing across eternity. Your death gives birth to life. Your silence becomes our existence. The iron in our blood, the calcium in our bones, the carbon in our breath, all once burned in the heart of a star like you. We are made of your remnants, walking stardust bound by thought and emotion. You are a star, and when we see you, we are being touched by your past, by the ancient fire that still whispers across time. Every shimmer is a story, every flicker a poem written by the universe itself. You are gone, and yet, somehow, you remain forever alive in everything that breathes, grows, and dreams. When we look at you, we do not see your end. We see the beginning of everything.